In Turkey, once again, we find the altar of Zeus from Pergamon. And this is going to be in Turkey. We're up in the kingdom of Pergamon, right up here. So we are definitely separated from the Greek mainland. And it's showing that importance, sort of the Greek world moving more and more east because there are more resources. You have the Lydian gold mines in Turkey. You have the granary of Rome, the granary of the Mediterranean, which is Egypt. You have all of the resources of the old Persian Empire compared to the rocky, horrible soil that you have in Greece itself. Well, it's not surprising that society and the ideas of the Greeks really do move west. And it houses the most famous Hellenistic Greek sculptural ensemble that we see anywhere. What we see is an elevated platform, and this is going to be framed in by an Ionic colonnade with wings on either side. So here's our wings. By the way, it's in a German museum. Let's skip back to where we were. There we go. We have those wings projecting forward, and we have an open courtyard inside where you would find that altar. And really, it's all about the altar. You'll notice there's really no cella here. So again, changing the form, just like we saw at the Temple of Apollo at Didyma. So you would come in, you would have the sacrifice. Again, priests are the ones going up to the top. The people would be down beneath. And then the entire piece is surrounded by a massive frieze, which you can see there. It's a gigantomachy. And that frieze is high relief, some almost in the round. We see a dynamic image, both physically, but more importantly, emotionally. Here, what you're looking at is Athena, and she's being crowned by Winged Victory. So here's Winged Victory applying a crown to Athena. Unfortunately, Athena's face is missing, but you could imagine what it might look like. And she's pulling the hair of a writhing giant. On the other side, the giant's mother is watching as he's about to be killed. Ge, the earth goddess and mother of the giants, looks on in horror. And you can imagine the pain of watching as your child is about to be literally torn limb from limb, killed in front of you. And this is getting at that emotional element of Hellenistic art. So here we see the giant who's about to be killed, and definitely in a state of suffering, looking up, has the appearance of someone who recognizes death coming, whereas the mother seems to have, even though most of her face is missing, this look of great sadness, great grief and despair on her face. And unfortunately, we're missing the face of Athena, or we might see some kind of grimace as if she's in the middle of combat, and the image of Winged Victory possibly bringing some kind of serenity to the piece. Obviously wouldn't have a huge emotional response, but that idea of capturing the emotion of a figure, capturing the human drama that we see in these battles or whatever else is going on, that is going to be typically Hellenistic. So whereas we saw realism from the archaic and perfection or idealism from the classical, by the time we get to the Hellenistic, it's about drama, theatricality, emotion, and movement, creating very, very dynamic images that give the sense that they could in fact move at any given moment.